It's talking Terran. Hi there, it's Husky again. I think we're all pretty familiar with how the outer space looks like. I mean, it's ultra high vacuum, high energy radiation, exposure to low and hot temperatures, etc., etc. But what would actually happen if, after one of those days, you go out to repair a broken module on your spaceship and accidentally forget to wear your spacesuit? Do you just freeze and become a human icicle, or do you go splat and explode like in the movies? Well, actually, you do neither of those. Temperature is a function of heat energy in a given amount of matter, and space by definition has no mass at all. Skinny legend, right? So heat transfer cannot occur the same way in space since the two out of three methods require matter, require mass. All that's left is thermal radiation. That means you'd feel the slight warmth of a nearby star, or if you're just so far away in space and you see absolutely nothing at all, you'd feel cold radiating away from your body. Main concern here is the atmospheric pressure. Upon exposure to deep space, the air in your lungs would expand, and unless the air is immediately exhaled, they would cause fatal ruptures. Then within 15 seconds, the oxygenated blood gets delivered to your brain and you become unconscious. Data from animal experiments and failed training attempts suggest that you could survive a minute in that state, but not much longer. But that's us, right? I mean, fleshy monkeys in lab suits. Do other species handle it better? Yeah, yeah, they do. In 2007, scientists came to the conclusion that tardigrades are able to survive an extended state in the harsh environment of outer space. The European team of researchers sent a group of living tardigrades to orbit the Earth on the outside of a Photon M3 rocket for 10 whole days. When the creatures came back to Earth, scientists discovered that 68% of them survived the whole ordeal. No, hold on, that's such a funny thing to do. Just glue a tardigrade to the outside of a rocket and let it fly. I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't just glue them, but that's still so funny. Well, what's a tardigrade anyway, you ask? Also called the water birds or moss piglets, they are an eight-legged creatures, microscopic creatures that live in water. If you're a Death Stranding fan, you can probably recognize those adorable little creatures. Keep on keeping on, am I right? They are short and plump, relatable, and live in various environments, from the deep sea to the Antarctic. They feed on plant cells, algae, and small invertebrates. They evolved to withstand the harsh conditions here on Earth, and by accident also the ability to survive outer space. How?
You can't. No, that's a skill issue.
No, listen. Tardigrades are able to stop their biological clock, slow down their metabolism, and enter a state called desiccation. In this state, the tardigrade just persists doing absolutely nothing until it comes in contact with water again. Even though the lifespan of a tardigrade is just a couple of months, they are able to survive decades in that state. Scientists are even speculating that they are able to survive up to a century. Even space radiation doesn't seem to bother them that much at all. One of the biggest radiation concerns for us is a molecule called the reactive oxygen species. Tardigrades, however, in the desiccated state, produce a high amount of antioxidants that can neutralize the effects of the reactive oxygen species. Have you ever heard the word panspermia? It's the hypothesis that life exists throughout the universe, distributed by space dust, asteroids, meteoroids, planetoids, just anything flying in space. So basically, that life can jump from one planet to another. That doesn't sound so abstract, does it? I mean, we have species on Earth that are able to withstand the harsh environment of outer space. Yet alone, if they were inside of an asteroid, they would be additionally protected from the radiation and could go on even longer. And tardigrades are not the only species on Earth that are able to withstand these conditions. But I'll tell more about the next species in another video. Thank you all for watching and follow for more space related content. Bye!